Ladies and gentlemen, there once was a time when Survivor Series was all about brand supremacy. Monday Night Raw versus Friday Night Smackdown. They even had a year where they actually included NXT. But those years are long behind us. Nowadays, WWE tends to focus more on the War Games gimmick side of it all, and for that, it doesn't really matter what brand you're on. What matters is, are you a good guy? Are you a bad guy? Which of these guys are your friends, and which of these friends are you bringing to this two-ringed cage fight? But for today's video, we're gonna dial things back and return to a more traditional Survivor Series environment, because the purpose of today's video is to create the perfect 2025 Survivor Series team for each brand, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, and we'll be creating teams for both the men and the women's as well. Of course, in the comments section, I would like to hear about how wrong I am and what teams you would have made. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I know that you're gonna fall in love with this YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. And if you do want more than just the daily wrestling content that we create here, you already know, come check out the Patreon, patreon.com/SantiZap. Over there, you're gonna get so many extra videos that we can never upload here because we use real footage in those, and those would just get blocked here due to copyright. So go check it out, link in the description, link in the pinned comment. You already know. Let's get started. All right, so before I fully dive into the list, there's one thing that I do want to make abundantly clear. I wanted to make an active 2025 list. So that means that people that are injured or on hiatus in some capacity are not eligible for any of the teams. So for example, in the women's side, I typically would have included people like Naomi, Rhea Ripley, or Liv Morgan, but all three of them are not eligible because they're injured or off of TV for one reason or another. I just wanted to make that abundantly clear before you start jumping into the comments getting all angry because I didn't include somebody that typically would have been included. Again, I'm only included people that are active and healthy right now. So let's start with the Monday Night Raw women. I'm kicking things off, of course, with the man Becky Lynch. This is two birds, one stone. I get a megastar, I get a main eventer, I get a first ballot Hall of Famer, while also getting mid-card representation because she's the Women's Intercontinental Champion. 1,000,000% we're including Becky Lynch on our team. You gotta remember as well, even though she's in the mid-card, she's still the most recognizable name right now on Monday Night Raw, if you ask me. And on top of that, she's just had such a crazy good 2025. When you look at her resume of matches, of promos, of storylines that she's been a part of, I think she's in contention for being Superstar of the Year. If you're having that good of a year, you're for sure going to be included on the team. Io Sky is somebody that, similarly to Becky Lynch, might be in contention for Superstar of the Year. I don't think that she has had a single bad match. The only complaint about Io Sky is that I want more Io Sky matches than the amount that we got this year, and that's a good complaint. Io Sky is in the conversation at all times for the best women's professional wrestler active right now, and when you have a talent like that, a talent that could have an amazing match against the Broom, you absolutely include them. And we can also talk about her super increase in popularity in 2025 with this emote of hers becoming one of the most over things of the year. It would have been nice to include Rhea Ripley here because they make a nice tandem, but because of Rhea Ripley's injury, she's not on this list. We gotta include the Women's World Champion as well, not only because she's the Women's World Champion, because similarly to Io Sky, many people have Stephanie Vaked in the conversation for the best women's professional wrestler right now. She's also had an unbelievable first 12 months of her career, winning more titles than anybody in their first 12-month stretch as a member of the WWE roster. She's won what? Women's North American, NXT, the Crown Jewel Championship, Women's World Championship. She has had an absolutely wicked year, and we got to reward that level of success by having her be one of the anchors on our Survivor Series team. I kind of debated to have either Asuka or Bayley. I could have made room for both, but I wanted to include the fifth person, and it meant that one of those two needed to get cut, and I just simply was not going to cut Asuka because Asuka is on like a resurgence of her career. Over the last couple of months, it feels like we have turned the clock back and we've gone back to a time where Asuka was scary, where Asuka needed to be feared by anyone and everyone on the main roster. On top of that, it's freaking Asuka. This is a legend of the industry. It absolutely, like, take my license away as a WWE wrestling YouTuber if I do not include Asuka in this. And last but not least, I needed to include somebody that was like firmly in the mid card because I felt like Becky Lynch was kind of cheating. So give me arguably the best women's mid card wrestler right now that the WWE has in Lyra Valkyria. Similarly to a Becky Lynch or an Io Sky, she just doesn't have bad matches. She has given pretty much every woman on the main roster right now on the Monday Night Raw side of things their best match of the year. That is the level of quality of work that Lyra Valkyria continues to deliver time after time after time as a member of the Raw roster. Whether it was as Intercontinental Champion, chasing the Intercontinental Champion, even her tag team matches now teamed up with Bayley, they're consistently a treat. They're consistently must-watch matches on Monday Night Raw. Sure, I could have gone with a team of just like pure nothing but main eventers, but like I don't feel like that's the entire spirit of Survivor Series. I feel like you do want a representation of like your different aspects of your division. And Lyra Valkyria, like to me, she's the anchor woman of the mid-card on Raw.
Refusing to. Here we go. Oh, God, he barely made. Dude, there's a fire in the ring, dude.
He's getting cooked. He's burning. Put him out.
Curly and AAA. Oh, God!
Oh, my God!
That was a sneak peek of this week's Horror Week Wrestling is Cool Match Club, available exclusively over on patreon.com/SantiZap. This week, we're going to be looking at the hellacious Hell in a Cell match between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. The 3 stages of Hell match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H. The infamous WCW Chamber of Horrors match from 1991. The barbed wire Christmas tree match from TNA. And The Undertaker and Kane in their famous 1999 Inferno match. You're going to be getting all of this, plus the Raw reviews, SmackDown reviews, the currently ongoing John Cena World Championship Series, and all of the videos and series that we've already uploaded there over on patreon.com/SantiZap. So go check it out. Link in the description, link in the pinned comment. We obviously can't post this stuff here on YouTube because it would just get blocked due to copyright. So go check it out over there. I'm confident that if you try it even for just 1 month, that you are going to fall in love with the content and the community. If you're already a patron, thank you so much for your support. Now let's get you back to the video. Now let's go to Friday Night Smackdown. Again, remember there's some notable injuries that we wouldn't be including here. I would absolutely 1,000,000,000% include Bianca Belair, but she is out as of the making of this video, so she's not on this team. Let's start things off with the WWE Women's Champion, Jade Cargill. She is such an incredibly dominant WWE Women's Champion, and I'm already calling her a dominant WWE Women's Champion, even though she hasn't even had a match defending the WWE Women's Championship or so much as a feud or a promo with it. I'm saying this because there's literally nobody right now on the Friday Night Smackdown roster that can even so much as realistically step up to Jade Cargill right now. The only one is injured in Bianca Belair. So when you're already so dominant that there is no division to even speak of course you're going to get included here. So this one is debatable. I might be wrong for including Tiffany Stratton, but as of the making of this video, I don't know whether or not Tiffany Stratton is injured short-term, long-term, whether it's a real injury or not. I have no idea, but until I know otherwise, she's being included here. There was the whole knee injury during the match with Jade Cargill, but again, as of the making of this video, we don't have any news, so as far as I know, she's fair game. Not only is she a former WWE Women's Champion and a constant, fantastic performer in the ring, but she's also a great representation of the future, the next generation of top-tier talent in the women's roster, with her being in her 20s still, with still so much left of the primes of her career. The next two are kind of just together, mostly because one, they're the tag champions, but also their individual star power as well certainly warrants including them on here. I'm of course talking about the women's tag team champions, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Both of them deserve a spot on this list. If they weren't women's tag team champions, they probably would still be on this list, because we are talking about Hall of Famers, both of these two, in terms of everything that they've accomplished in the WWE, and still they are producing at a high level even in 2025. And sure, let's include Julia. At this point, it would just be sad if I didn't include Julia. WWE already doesn't include Julia in anything, even though she's the WWE Women's United States Champion, but I'm not going to do that. I know what a high quality worker she is. I know that she can have fantastic matches. I know that she's one of the more believable workers on the SmackDown roster. That is the type of talent that you include. You also got to bring in your mid-card representative, absolutely, even if WWE has no intentions of ever using her, seemingly. Now let's go to the NXT side of things. We have a notable injury here as well, that of course being Sol Ruca, who recently had to relinquish her championship. She's still like on television, but she wouldn't be cleared for this match if we're talking realistically, so I'm not including her here. I am including the current Women's North American Champion and former Mariah May, now Blake Monroe, who is still still amazing. I don't even think that she's even so much as touched like 5% of the quality of work that she did in AEW, and it's still some of the best work happening in NXT. There's still so much untapped storytelling potential with Blake Monroe. It's not even funny. If you missed out on her run in AEW, I kind of envy you. I kind of wish I was in your boat so that you can see and see the blossoming of what you're about to witness with Blake Monroe over the next couple of years. Even then, I still think she's amongst the best workers in ring that NXT has from the women's side of things, but I also believe firmly that she is the best like storyteller right now that the women's division has in NXT. You got to give me the women's NXT champion Tatum Paxley, and actually I probably would have included her even if she didn't have the women's NXT championship because, and this might be a controversial statement, I think that she is the most rounded out competitor that the women's division has on NXT, if you can believe it or not. I think that from her in-ring, from her storytelling, all of it is so crisp and so believable. She is such an impressive asset that the WWE has. I think they've got a gem here in the long term with Tatum Paxley. Give me JC Jane. JC Jane was so good as women's champion on NXT. She was solid before her women's championship run as well. I actually thought that she was never going to get a chance at the women's NXT championship because she was going to get called up before she even got a shot. Now, for sure, she's going to get called up, but of course, at the very least, she's going to have an awesome women's world championship run under her belt. I think one of the things about JC Jane that she is amongst the elite at, even including those in the main roster, is her ability to build up drama in a match to the point where once you're in the finishing sequence of the match, you have no idea what's going to happen. You're at the edge of your seat because JC Jane has created this picture perfect story towards the end of the match. Give me the juggernaut. Of course, we got to have Jordynne Grace here, one of WWE's biggest free agent acquisitions. This is somebody that's going to be a big deal on the main roster when they get called up. Absolutely, you got to include a Jordynne Grace. And when I look at like what some of the other teams have, like for example, like a Jade Cargill, this works wonders in terms of being able to counter muscle with muscle as well. So strategically, it would make sense as well to include a Jordynne Grace on your team. I'm reaching here. I'm going for the women's Evolve champion, Kendall Gray. This woman has absolutely impressed the hell out of me. She's like turning into like the human suplex machine. I think that there is still so much runway in a really high ceiling for a Kendall Gray that I think it would be cool and really neat to have her show her stuff in front of a grander stage with the main roster women. I still think that there's a lot of development left with Kendall Gray, but I just see so much potential there that I would love to see that potential be utilized in this format. On top of that, she's the future of the future, right? She's the women's Evolve champion, and so she's the future of NXT, which NXT is the future of the main roster, the future of the future, right? All right, so that's it for the women. Now we're gonna dive into the men. We'll start off with the NXT men first. I think you can make a debate for me to not include Obafemi on the NXT team because he might not even be part of NXT as of the making of this video. We actually haven't seen him on NXT for about 4 weeks since losing the NXT championship, but it's not because of any storyline reason. It's not because he was written off. It's not because he was injured. He just hasn't been on TV. And the speculation is because he's getting called up to the main roster and likely being one of the surprise entrants in the John Cena Retirement Tour tournament. But all of that is speculation. The man is healthy. He is good to go. He's 100% being included in this team. And if Obafemi is on your team, you've got a problem, ladies and gentlemen. One of the most dominant superstars that NXT has ever seen and one of the most surefire locks that the main roster can get the hands on. Obafemi is going to be a major star, like bar none, no ifs, ands, or buts. This guy has got it all. He's fantastic in the ring. He's so believable. He's great with his promos as well. He really is the complete package. I personally think that we're talking about like an Obafemi and Braun Breaker getting compared for the rest of their careers type of deal. Javon Evans, oh my God, like nobody in the roster can do what this guy does. He's already just so good amongst the elites on NXT. He's already being trusted to have high profile matches with the likes of Randy Orton already. He's already been featured on the main roster a couple of times. This guy, just like Obafemi, is a surefire thing, a locked success moving forward in the main roster. But also, like when you have a guy of the talent of Javon Evans that can be so unique in his offense, an offense that just only he can do, you have to include him on your team. Give me Ethan Page, arguably the best worker all around found in the men's side of things on NXT. He is so crisp in the ring. He's a great character worker. He's a fantastic in-ring storyteller as well. Everything about what this guy brings to the table is genuinely elite. This guy was main roster ready before he even entered NXT. Him being in NXT is honestly like it's almost unfair at this point. It's a wealth of riches that the WWE has to be able to say that they can have a guy like Ethan Page in their developmental, because this guy could be amongst the elite already today on the main roster if they really wanted him to be. Ricky Saints, you gotta have, of course, the NXT champion on here. He's also a fantastic worker, great storyteller, incredibly charismatic, one of WWE's biggest gets in free agent acquisition from AEW. So yeah, you gotta include somebody of the talent and the representation of your NXT champion on your team. And it doesn't get as NXT right now as Trick Williams. Trick Williams, to a degree, like, is the NXT brand, if you ask me. This is another guy that's a couple of weeks away from the main roster if they really wanted him to. He's done it all in NXT, multi-time NXT champion, North American champion. He's already gone and ran TNA there for a little while. I think that this would be awesome as his final send-off hoorah from NXT to the main roster. 1,000,000%. You gotta include Tricky Will. Now let's go to Monday Night Raw. So when it comes to Raw, keep in mind, again, we aren't including injuries, so Seth Rollins isn't on here. Roman Reigns is a part-timer, so I didn't even want to include him. And of course, Gunther is also out with injury as of the making of this video, so some of these big names are not going to be on this list. Duh, obviously you're including CM Punk, your World Heavyweight Champion, and your far and away most popular babyface that you've got on the roster. Like, if you don't include CM Punk, then you just simply don't know Bo. I'm sorry. Like, he's on your team whether you like him or not. Give me Braun Breaker. We've talked about the future of the WWE. He is being touted as the literal future of the WWE with that exact same wordage. He's already a Paul Heyman guy. He's already got his eyes on the World Heavyweight Championship. Similarly to what I said about Obafemi, this is a guy that's going to be an anchor, a pillar in the WWE. It's not about if he's going to win world championships and headline WrestleManias and win Royal Rumbles. It's just a matter of when. Absolutely, all of these great things are going to happen in his career. And when you have somebody that you have pegged as the future of your company for the next 20 years, you're insane to not include him on your team. Of course, he's being added. Yes, sir. The only double champion on this list, baby. You think I'm not going to include the AAA champion and the Intercontinental champion on this team? Not only is that double representation, but he's also representing the mid-card as well, while also representing the future of the WWE, being one of WWE's highly touted 20-something-year-olds that, similarly to some of the other names that we've talked about on here, will be carrying the company moving forward. Additionally, the work that Dominic Mysterio has been doing on the roster over the last month and a half has been genuinely stellar. Like, just such amazing character work to the point where it's become so good that it's actually become impossible to boo Dominic Mysterio because he's become so good, so entertaining. This guy is undeniable. He's a member of the team. Oh yeah, when you have a legend like AJ Styles, you're going to include him on the team. He's on the verge of retiring as well. You want to have him cross as many paths as possible before we fully call it a career with AJ Styles. I didn't even think twice. As soon as I remembered that AJ was on Monday Night Raw, I had to add him to the list. And the last one I debated between a bunch of people, between like a Rusev, between like a Finn Balor, a Sheamus. I ended up sticking with Penta. Right now, I don't think that it gets more Monday Night Raw than Penta. Penta is the most consistently booked guy on Monday Night Raw. Is he winning championships? No, but he's on every episode of Monday Night Raw. And every episode of Monday Night Raw, he's having a match. And every episode of Monday Night Raw, it's the best match of the night. That's a talent that you include. 1,000,000% Penta's here. And now let's go to Friday Night Smackdown as well. I was a little confused about this one. Like, I don't know, like, do I include Randy Orton or not? I don't know. I guess you'll have to find out. Of course, you got to have the quarterback of the team, Cody Rhodes. It's similar to CM Punk. Like, duh, this is like the face of the company. This is the guy that appears in every promo, every friggin' commercial cup, everything that WWE does pretty much at this point revolves around Cody Rhodes. Even when it shouldn't revolve around Cody Rhodes, it revolves around Cody Rhodes. That's who we're talking about here. Give me maybe the best worker that SmackDown has right now in Ilya Dragunov, the current United States champion. So there we have a little bit of mid-card representation, but even if he didn't have the United States championship, I would be hard pressed to not include somebody that is delivering the quality of work that an Ilya Dragunov is. Like, if you want to make the best available match, Ilya Dragunov needs to be part of that match every time that he's on the table. If he's not too busy getting screwed by corporate Cody, I would love to have Drew McIntyre as part of the SmackDown Survivor Series team. Known main eventer, he's also a veteran of multiple Survivor Series matches, also Survivor Series War Games matches. This is a guy that you want on your team, whether he's your friend or not. This is a guy that you want in the trenches with you. Absolutely, 1,000,000% every single time. Give me Drew McIntyre. This one might be debatable because, well, Carmelo Hayes hasn't really done a heck of a whole lot. This might be a vanity choice for me. This might just be a very biased decision on my end because I love Carmelo Hayes. I love the rate of his work, but I also just look at the trajectory of where Carmelo Hayes is going. Sure, he's not Braun Breaker, but I think that we are at this point where we're starting to see the growth and development and the maybe, dare I say, desire to push Carmelo Hayes in the WWE. So yeah, give me Melo. And for the last one, I'm going to go with Aleister Black, which answers the question as to whether or not I'm including Randy Orton on here. He hasn't been on TV for so long at this point. Like, it feels like a month and a half that like I couldn't logically put him on here, which maybe makes me a hypocrite because of the Obafemi situation, but somehow it feels like Obafemi hasn't been gone anywhere near as long as Randy. And now that I've included a Penta, I feel like Aleister Black fits all of the same things that I said about Penta. Like, Aleister Black is one of these consistently booked programs on SmackDown. He's always having a match, a promo, pre-recorded vignette. Like, if there's an episode of SmackDown, there's a really good chance that you got yourself treated to an Aleister Black segment or match. And now that you've got Zelina in the mix, I feel like it adds an extra layer of intrigue to Aleister Black that I want to see added to this Survivor Series team. All right, folks, we are going to leave it there, of course, inevitably, simply because I chose people that aren't your favorites. There's going to be people that are going to be mad in the comments. So just point and laugh at them for getting mad for no reason. But that's it. Goodbye. Take care. Get out of here.